This episode is sponsored by the Mick Commitments, Scottish Saviours of Soul, Scotland's only 11-piece soul band. Music from the iconic movie The Commitments and beyond. Hello and welcome back to Film Pro Productivity and Success, the podcast that helps creative people to live a more focused, effective and happy life. My name is Carter Ferguson and this is episode 167. You reap what you sow, hard truths about success. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. Robert Louis Stevenson, unquote. In last week's episode, the first of season 14, I talked about networking, and having thought about it, networking is a bit like a garden in that the seeds that you plant whilst building a network can grow into stronger contacts as time goes on. And I'm kind of going to extend that analogy a little bit into this week's show. But if you missed that one, please do go back and check it out. Networking is a tough thing. I found it difficult over the years. I'm getting better at it now. And there's some tips and tricks in there for you to try and make it a little bit easier for you and make it work for you. But last week's show is all about networking. Today, though, I am going to focus down on the effort that you've got to put in daily to achieve future success, rather than the dangerous modern-day mentality that's about right now, that microwave mentality. I've done a show about it, which only seeks immediate results. In productivity terms, you reap what you sow means that the effort you put into your tasks or projects directly influences the results that you will achieve. Essentially, the more effort, focus and hard work that you invest into your endeavours, the better outcomes and rewards that you will experience. So by that reckoning, it also means the opposite. If you put in minimal effort and neglect your tasks, you're likely to experience less than good subpar results and, of course, failure. Many of us grapple with challenges such as procrastination. It's the main thing people bring up when I'm interacting with them on social media. Lack of motivation or the pursuit of shortcuts. This is what people are desperate for. But these pitfalls often lead to undesired consequences as they prevent us from investing the essential effort that we need to put in to attain our own objectives. And overcoming these obstacles necessitates self-control, of course, dedication, and a readiness to exert the hard work required to harvest the results that you seek. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for whatever one sows, that he will also reap. Galatians 6:7. And that Bible verse, probably the first time I heard it in church way back when, that Bible verse serves as a warning that actions, whether good or bad, that's one of the big points I want to make today, whether good or bad, have got inevitable consequences. In its biblical context, Paul is urging believers to live righteously, reminding them that their choices will lead to corresponding outcomes, whether blessings or hardships. The phrase has since, of course, been widely adopted beyond religious teachings, often used to highlight the importance of discipline, effort, and accountability, really, in all aspects of life, including, and that's why I'm here today, productivity and success. Sow a thought, you reap an act. Sow an act, and you reap a habit. Sow a habit, and you reap a character. Sow a character, and you reap a destiny. Ralph Waldo Emerson, unquote. Emerson, or whoever inspired the quote, as I'm not convinced from my research that it was him. It's a weird one giving quotes out on this show, because sometimes the places that I find these quotes, I have question marks over whether they've been correctly attributed. But Ralph Waldo Emerson seems to be the main guy who's attributed to that one, but I did find others. But they are, whoever it is, addressing the progression of how small internal thoughts influence outward behaviour and ultimately shape a person's identity and fate. By carefully tending to our thoughts and actions, we have got the power to shape who we are and where we're headed in life. It's a reminder that small, consistent efforts can lead to profound and lasting change. In short, what I'm getting at here is a very simple and very common productivity outlook, that our small daily choices shape our future. And something that I come across often, and I try not to get dragged into if I can avoid it, is negative gossip. That's where I'd like to start, because negative gossip leads to damaged reputations. If you constantly talk negatively about other people, word will spread and people will begin to distrust you. Over time, you may find yourself isolated or struggling to build relationships because others assume that you'll do the same to them. I know a few people that like to gossip, but I am uncomfortable with it, as I've got a strong sense of objectivity and I work hard to maintain the ability to make decisions, judgments and evaluations based on facts, evidence and rational thinking, rather than on personal emotions or biases or beliefs. And if you can remain objective, you can see situations from different perspectives, weigh all the relevant information fairly, and arrive at conclusions that are far more balanced and impartial than just picking up gossip as it goes and believing the first thing that you hear. Gossip is dangerous as it spreads rumours and misinformation. It tarnishes reputations, it erodes trust, it fuels negativity, and it undermines relationships, ultimately creating a toxic environment that can have really long-lasting impacts on individuals and communities. And another thing worth talking about here is inconsistent effort. Just like negative gossip can lead to damaged reputations, inconsistent effort creates unstable results. If you work hard only when you feel like it, whether you're at the gym or on a project or in your career in general, then you might see some progress, but it will be unpredictable and it will be short-lived. By failing to sow consistent effort, you won't reap the long-term benefits of steady growth. But of course, it's not all negative, and another example of reaping what you sow is in the case of helping others. If you make a habit of supporting others, whether by mentoring, offering encouragement, or simply being kind, you will build goodwill. And later, when you need help, people will be more inclined to support you, creating a network of trust and mutual benefits. And I'd add an addendum to that some people will be inclined to support you, not all. You should also bear in mind that doing someone a favour, I've said this before, or helping someone out is never a contract for future return of favour or support in any way, shape or form. It is not a predefined agreement. You should give without the expectancy of getting something back, and always remember the quote from Aristotle, who said, "Do not mistake my kindness for weakness," as some people out there will take and keep on taking if you let them do it. And I mention this only as I've had some recent experiences where arseholes have tried to take advantage of my kindness, and that has resulted in my being less than keen to offer support as I used to do in future. I don't know, have I ever done a show called Don't Mistake My Kindness for Weakness? Because it is a thing. I sometimes find as well, I'm going off piste here, I sometimes find as well, because I've got a casual way of working, that some people read it as uncaring or dismissive. And that assumption that I don't care does bother me, because what it leads to is people doing less good work. What I noticed in particular is from tradesmen. If I can finally track a tradesman down to come and do a job for me, I have noticed that they will do the least amount of work. Not all of them. I know I'm generalizing, but like my experiences recently, they only want to do the least amount of work that they possibly can. And if I give any indication that I seem uncaring because I'm casual, they will try and take advantage of that. Anyway, moving on. Let me talk for a bit about the productivity trap, aka avoiding work. Many folk fall into the productivity trap, as it's known in inverted commas, where they focus more on planning, organising and preparing for work instead of actually getting that work done. Don't know if that's ringing any bells for you. This tendency can stem from various reasons. Distractions, Modern life is absolutely rife with distractions like social media, emails, messaging apps, YouTube. I've mentioned it many times, a big distraction for me. And they all make it a challenge for us to concentrate on deep work. That is getting really good quality work done consistently. Another thing is fear of failure. Some people procrastinate because they worry that their work won't meet their own expectations and hopes or those of others, and therefore they don't do it at all. Perfectionism, of course, is another big one. Others get caught up in the pursuit of perfection, feeling like their work is never good enough and are continually refining it. This is the conversation I sometimes find myself in regarding the tradesman, whatever, someone along the line will accuse me of being a perfectionist, whereas I am not a bloody perfectionist at all. I'm a flipping productivity guy. But my good is very, very good, but it's definitely not perfection. But if you do get caught up in perfection, say I used to be a perfectionist, I am absolutely not anymore. But if you do get caught up in it, it's really going to limit your ability to get stuff done. But the pervasiveness of social media can really, really contribute to the productivity trap that I'm talking about. People often see the results of others' hard work on there, but not the effort and the struggles behind them, leading to unrealistic expectations and feelings of inadequacy. This can perpetuate a cycle of planning, organising and avoiding work, this productivity trap, as people try to find the perfect productivity system instead of focusing on the task at hand and getting stuff done. And it's also vital to recognise that productivity and efficiency are important. That's why I do the show. But ultimately, the key to success is putting in the hard work, learning from your failures, and adjusting your expectations to allow for imperfections. Success compounds over time. What you do consistently determines your outcome. James Allen, unquote. Achieving success is often attributed to extraordinary talent, genius ideas, or sudden bursts of motivation, but the real magic lies in the consistent daily habits that we cultivate over time. Success in whatever you're trying to do comes from creating a strong foundation of regular, disciplined action. Small daily actions like writing a few hundred words a day if you're a writer, or engaging in short bouts of exercise, accumulate and compound over time to yield significant results. And ultimately, by focusing on building sustainable habits and taking consistent action, we can create a reliable pathway to success rather than relying on fleeting moments of motivation or genius. This is something I've been trying to do at the moment. As you know, this season was delayed by the volume of work that I get in this year, the fight contracts, the stunt contracts, 20 contracts I did before we got to here, and I've just I've got another contract on at the moment. I've not been seeking work, but a TV show that's shooting in Glasgow shortly has contacted me, and I'm rehearsing next week, and I'm shooting maybe the next 2 weeks. Anyway, that's an aside. I am focusing down just now on my own stuff. I'm getting this podcast done. I'm focusing down on my health and my fitness. I'm trying to set up routines, and it's hard to set up routines because you get people constantly pulling on your time. The biggest routine I'd like to get into is to get back swimming again. I did a show once called Swim for Your Life. I really like swimming, and it helps. I've got a knee injury, so it helps the knee injury. But it is very, very hard for me to set up that routine because Glasgow City Council, in their great wisdom, do not open the swimming until like afternoons, basically on Mondays and Tuesdays, and they only open at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays. So it means that I cannot get into a routine particularly easy with that. I'm trying to exchange it for something else, but it's all tough. But if I know if I can get my routine sorted, if I can control my eating habits, because I'm always all over the place dealing with stuff, and that means you start just grabbing food as you go, then that will help me to lose weight. That'll mean my knee injury has not got as much weight hanging on it. And as I get to the gym more often or get swimming more often, my fitness level will go up. And if I can get to the swim or to the gym early on in the day, that actually gets my mind awake and I can get more stuff done in the day as well. So it's all beneficial to me. But what I'm trying to do just now is kind of avoid too much new work, but I still need to pay my bills, so that's one thing, and just set out these routines. Anyway, I'm going off on one there, but I'm trying to seize back control of my life is what I'm trying to say, and once I've got full control of it, I will be back into my routines. It's not the decision you make that is most important. It is the degree of commitment with which you make the decision. Bo Bennett, unquote. Success comes from consistent follow-through, not just making plans. So how can we overcome resistance and make progress on our goals? For regular listeners, this advice won't come as much of a surprise, but it's essential to adopt strategies that help us break through the mental barriers which we all face and build momentum. So here are some effective approaches. Start small. Break overwhelming tasks into small, manageable steps. This makes the work feel more achievable and reduces anxiety. There's an episode about it. It's called How Do You Eat an Elephant? You eat it one bite at a time, and that way you get these larger tasks completed over time. Next, commit to a routine. Establish daily habits and routines that eliminate decision fatigue. By automating certain aspects of your day, you'll conserve your mental energy for the more critical tasks that you have to deal with. Next, measure your progress. Track and celebrate the small wins to maintain motivation and encourage consistent effort. Recognizing our accomplishments helps build confidence and momentum. That is part of the circle of productivity, and it might just mean that you give yourself a little award, whether it's a little break or you go and get yourself a coffee and a donut, maybe, I don't know, a coffee or something as a little reward when you achieve your successes. Do recognize your accomplishments, though, because it's very, very easy as creative people to just go on to the next thing and forget about what you've done. What I do with my to-do lists now, I do have to-do lists. I've an awful lot of them at the moment. That's what I'm desperate to get into. Rather than completely remove them I use whiteboards. Rather than completely remove them, I'll put a line through them so that at the end of the day I can see what I've achieved. Whereas if you just wipe them off the board, you don't have that measure of your progress. So that was the third one, measure progress. And lastly, eliminate excuses. Embrace the idea that taking action, even if the outcome is not perfect, even if you fail, is still better than not starting at all. Done is better than perfect, so just start. Life is an echo. What you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. What you see in others exists in you. Zig Ziglar, unquote. And I just want to hammer home as well that just like consistent action will bring you positive results, neglecting your work or having negative attitudes or getting distracted will transform your results into fails as well. So here are some pitfalls to avoid on the path to success. Neglecting the small steps, ignoring the value of small, consistent actions can lead to stagnation and missed opportunities. And this is one I see all the time. I see it in the fight world. I cannot tell you the number of people who think that they can do a 3-hour workshop and then call themselves a fight director. It is unbelievable. And they just want to get there as fast as they can. This microwave mentality of a lot of people in today's world, or the fake it till you make it. And I don't think I've done a show on fake it till you make it. There is some argument for it, but there are people out there that fake it till you make it to the point of, they never achieve anything. It's even their successes are fake successes, and it's only in their head that they're being successful. Don't neglect the small steps. Put time and effort into small, consistent actions, and you will get success. If you neglect them, you're going to get missed opportunities and you're going to get fails. Next one here, succumbing to perfectionism, waiting for that perfect moment or idea for the stars to align will paralyze your progress and prevent you from taking action. So do not look for perfectionism. That does not mean that you will accept less, that you'll have a that'll do attitude. That's not what I'm saying. But your measure of what is good enough should still be quite high, but it shouldn't be perfect. Next up, harbouring negative thoughts and spreading gossip. Please just don't do it. Don't allow a negativity to fester in your minds, because it will erode your confidence and undermine your resolve. And participating in gossip will create somewhere in your life a toxic environment, and it'll erode trust and foster even more negativity. Gossip diverts your energy and your focus away from more productive pursuits. It hinders your personal growth and it damages teamwork, so don't do it. Finally, in my little list of pitfalls, I've got failing to adapt. Quite an important one. Refusing to learn from mistakes that you've made or to adjust your approach when faced with challenges will prevent growth and innovation. I sometimes have not been fast enough to adapt. I'm actually trying to adapt the way I'm putting the podcast out this season. You might have noticed I'm putting little videos out of me speaking direct-ish to camera with the microphone and shot and stuff. I'm trying something different, but it's taken me a long time to adapt because I have had less and less time to record seasons in recent years. So I'm trying to give a little bit more time to this and put out these videos. And the first video I put out, last week's one, I looked tired in it. I know I looked tired in it. And the reason I looked tired in it, by the way, is because I was tired. I was burnt out. Absolutely burnt out. But I put it out, I put it together and I put it out there anyway, because the action of doing that made me think, oh, maybe I'll do it differently next time. So hopefully these are going to get better as time goes on, and I'll get quicker at making them as well. But do not fail to adapt. It's another pitfall on the path to success. Remember, your actions and attitudes shape the landscape of your success. By tending to your goals with positivity and adaptability, you can cultivate a flourishing future rather than this desert of unfulfilled potential. As Mark Twain wisely said, the secret of getting ahead is getting started, and avoiding work only delays success. So sooner rather than later, focus on taking action to unlock your potential and achieve your goals. And the big question as we complete here is what I used as the premise for one of last season's shows. What is the work that you've been avoiding? What one step can you make today that either kills off a negative trait or starts you on the path to productivity and success by planting the seeds that are going to get you there? Remember, folks, that age-old wisdom still holds true. You reap what you sow. Investing your time, energy, and dedication into your goals will undoubtedly yield fruitful results. On the other hand, neglecting to put in the necessary work will leave you with nothing to harvest down the line. So identify the crucial steps that will set you in the path to success and take decisive action today to move yourself forward. And for example, to really push this one home, let's just say you're an aspiring actor who wants to land meaningful roles in TV or film. So let's identify some crucial steps that might involve. 1, build your skills. Enrolling in acting classes or workshops to hone your craft would be a good place to start. Another thing might be creating a professional portfolio, getting professional headshots done, updating your acting resume, getting some showreel footage shot and putting it all together, polishing that package, gaining experience by auditioning for local theatre productions, student films and online projects will build your credits and your reel. And everyone's got to start somewhere. Again, that fast track, that microwave mentality where you want to be the lead or the second off the lead in some movie or TV show, it's not going to get there unless you put in the time and learn by getting experience early on. And yes, I've done a show about this. That might mean you have to do the odd thing for nothing, because believe it or not, some people will not be interested in paying you money if they don't know what you can do because you've got no experience. I've done a show about it, but basically my mindset on doing stuff for free is it's sometimes very necessary to do stuff for free in order that you can build relationships and gain experience. So get your headspace into that and don't just sit greeting about it on Facebook groups, because a lot of the people I see greeting about things on Facebook groups, and if it's you, tough, I'm going to say it, sometimes you're not getting work because you're not good enough. That's the truth. Maybe you need to get better. Maybe you're going to get more work. maybe you're going to get more pay. Anyway, network. Did a show about it last week. That's the next one. Attend industry events. This imaginary actor I've made up, they could join online communities, but not to moan about not getting work. And they could connect with casting directors, agents, and other actors. Listen to last week's episode. It's all about networking. Next up here, they could research opportunities, regularly browsing casting websites, like I think Backstage is one of them, and there's casting networks out there, and sometimes you can hear it by word of mouth. I've been an actor. I know this is not easy, but you could research opportunities. I'm kind of doing a little bit of research just now on Scottish theatre because I haven't done theatre in a long time. And I don't really know who's in what places. It seems like it's kind of fallen apart since I last did a lot of theatre. But I'm trying to find out who the creative directors are, the artistic directors are again. Even I have to research before I can go seeking employment. And finally, try and stay healthy and resilient. Develop habits that support your mental, very important one, and your physical health so that you can navigate the ups and downs of the industry. That's the sort of things that might be written down by an actor that's trying to get somewhere. So do the same for your own situation. Identify what it is you want to do, where it is you want to go. Identify the crucial steps that will set you on the path to success, and then take decisive action today to move yourself forward with that goal. Okay? That's your call to action, right? Identify the crucial steps that will set you on the path to success, and take decisive action today to move yourself forward. If you're enjoying the show, I'd love for you to subscribe and leave a review on your favourite podcast app. It really helps others discover the show. And if you know a friend or colleague who might find this episode helpful, please share it with them. Next week, I'm going to be diving into the topic of overcoming jealousy with a touch of grace and a sprinkle of gamification. But for now, let me end today with these words from Zig Ziglar, who said, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." So take control of your own destiny, keep on shooting, and join me next time on Film Pro Productivity and Success. Music that you can hear right now is Adventures by Ehimitsu, and you can view the show notes for this episode only at the official website, filmproproductivity.com. That's a full transference of everything I say is on there. Transference is the wrong word. You can follow my personal accounts on Twitter and Instagram. That's X and Instagram at fight_director. Or follow the show itself on Twitter at X. I mean, is it Twitter? Is it X? At FilmProProdPod. Or on Facebook at Film Pro Productivity. Please do continue, folks, to support the show by subscribing, spreading the word, and leaving an awesome review. Ran a bit over there, got distracted, haven't said this in a while. I had to look at what I had to say there. I used to be able to just say this, and there I went, way over. Hope you enjoyed that one. Have a great week. I'll see you next time.